Hello, today we're going to be talking about calculating measures of center and variability. So we're going to go over some definitions and then we will go through some examples. So center when we describe the center of a graph, either a dot plot, a histogram, or a box plot, or we're just talking about a data set in general, to describe the center we talk about the mean or the median. So we know that the mean is the average, whereas the median is just the middle number. And so you might want to use different ones according to different cases. So I'll show you that right now. So the mean is best to use when the data is normally distributed, and the median is best to use when the data is skewed or it has outliers. And outliers are part of the data set that is just outside or far outside of the data set, and we'll get more into outliers in another video, but yeah, just know that for now that outliers are really far outside the regular data set or the regular data pattern. And then also variability, we talk about range or standard deviation. So the range is the distance between the maximum and minimum. You just take the maximum minus the minimum. And then I also forgot to put the IQR. So the IQR is going to be Q3 minus Q1, and that's the interquartile range. And the standard deviation is the measure of how dispersed the data is from the mean. Usually, most statisticians will use standard deviation instead of range and IQR, but there might be some cases where you use range and IQR. So if you're using range, then you're using IQR as well. So you should be using both. For our purposes, we're not going to get into standard deviation. That would be further down the line in further statistics classes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the graphs here and we're going to talk about shape, center, and spread, or variability. Variability and spread are the same thing. So this is a graph that we saw in our shape video, so I'm just going to review it and talk about the center and the variability. Because when we're describing a data set, either a graph or data in statistics, we talk about the shape, the center, and the variability. So the shape here we can see is normally distributed. So approximately normal. The center, so now we need to figure out if we should use mean or median. Well, since this is normally distributed, we're going to use the mean. So to find the mean, I'm going to go ahead and add up all these numbers and divide by that number. And so I would recommend grabbing a calculator right now so you can use. But we can see there's 1 here, 19, 2 here, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. 3 here, and 1 here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the frequency by the number. So for example, here, 1 times 19 is 19. Plus 2 times 20 is 40. And let me actually move this down here. Or, you know what? I'll move it up here. Kind of hard to see down there. And then 21 times 7 is 147. 22 times 9, I'm going to have to plug that into my calculator. Okay, so that's going to be 198. And you guys are welcome to use the calculator for this. Okay, 6 times 23, also gonna need a calculator for that. 138. 3 times 24 is gonna be 72. So now we need to add those up together, and I would recommend also using a calculator for this. Okay, so when I added them all up, I got 614. So now we're going to take the total number of dots and take 614 and divide it by there to find the mean. So 1, 2, 3, oh, I can also just add them all up. So we have 10, 19, 25, 28, and 29. So I'm going to take 614 and divide it by 29. And I got approximately 21.17. And I'm just going to round to the 100th. So that's a mean. And now for the variability, since we're not really going to be talking about standard deviation a lot, I'm just going to show you the range and the IQR. So the range, again, is the max minus the minimum. So we're going to do 25 minus 19, and that's going to give us 6. The IQR is Q3 minus Q1. And so now we need to go ahead and find the Q3. So to find the Q3, we first need to find the median, and then we need to find the median of the minimum and the median, and then the median of the median and the maximum. So let's find the median first. Just crossing off all these dots till we get to the middle. Can be a lot of work to be a statistician. Okay, and so we see the middle is 22. So yeah, just a side note, the median is 22. So now from this dot here in the middle to the edges, I'm going to do the same thing to find the middle number. So this one was the median up top. So now let me cross out again. I'm going to use a different color. And I got to 21. So my Q1 is 21. And then let's calculate the Q3. So we're going to do the same thing with the other side, but remember we need to include this dot right here. So and we got to the median, which is going to be 23. So then we just do 23 minus 21, and that's going to give us 2. And so there we have our IQR, our range for our variability, okay, and our mean and our shape. And so you would do the same thing even if it was like a data set they gave you with just numbers, or if they gave you a histogram or if they gave you a box plot, you would find the center and the spread the same way. And then obviously with the median, we talked about how to find a median as well, so you know how to find that in case you're looking for the median. Again, for our purposes, we're not going to go into standard deviation, but if you take a statistics class later along the lines, they'll go over standard deviation. So thank you for watching.